Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Shield Hero Season 2, Episode 12, the finale, the last one. Or at least I think it's the last one. I don't think this season has 13 episodes, but do correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But yeah, I think it's going to be the last one because everybody points towards that, towards today's episode being the one big final battle. After all, in the previous episode, uh, everybody got together. Naofumi and his group, Glass and her group, some additional characters, all of them banded together and went to attack Kyo's base of operations. And that very much seems to me like the final battle, like the boss battle. So that's probably what's going to happen. As far as other things that happened in the previous episode, it was mostly those two groups just meeting and merging and talking. Like for the first time since the series began, they actually sat down and talked and thought about things a little bit, and there were a few revelations caused by that thinking and by that talking. One of them being that killing the heroes of the other world might not even do anything. It's just something Glass and her group kind of figured and came up with, and it isn't necessarily true. So, yeah, now they don't really have the reason to fight. And Kizuna went into a direction that I was very much hoping someone will eventually go. Although I did not think it will happen this early. Namely, she went in the direction of just trying to defeat the waves. Not any particular wave, not the current wave or the next wave or the wave after. No. She wants to defeat, to destroy, to put an end to the waves as they are, so that no other world has to suffer them again. And I'm very much behind that. I very much support Kizuna in her efforts because that's something I wanted from a very early point in the series. And I honestly thought it will be way more time from now until we finally get to that, but I was pleasantly surprised. There appeared another character whose name I forgot. She was using a cursed sword that Kyo gave her. She's Kyo's childhood friend. And oh no, how could this have happened? The villain did the villainous thing and made his childhood friend help in his villainy, completely putting fog of wool over her eyes and telling her that it's all for the sake of good. Oh no, a villain is manipulative? How could it possibly be? But yes, Kyo is manipulative, and he did manipulate his childhood friend into believing that it's all for the greater good, yada 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 yada. Meanwhile, he was busy researching the waves not to stop them, but to summon them. And that's essentially where we left off in the previous episode, after, of course, a part of that newfound team teleported away, teleported to Kyo's base, but Naofumi and Rishia, and I think Raphtalia and Philo were also left alone, did not teleport because they weren't bound to any of the Dragon Hourglasses. So it makes sense, it's being bound to a Dragon Hourglass that teleports you to the location of the wave. And they weren't, so they're gonna have to go there on foot. Because Philo can no longer carry them, she's no longer big enough in her animal form, so that's out of the question. It's going to be interesting, because it seems like the quote-unquote B team is going to be storming Kyo's base, and Naofumi is just going to be fighting the waves. I think that's actually what's going to happen. Naofumi is left in the city, so he will probably stick around to defend it from the onslaught of monsters that a wave always brings with it. I certainly hope this episode is maybe not a banger, right? I don't require it to be a banger, but I hope it's at least good. I hope the fight won't be something like in the previous episode where there were just two swords just clanging together, because all those haughty and big skill names, ability names, and it's just clink, clank, clink, clank. I'd rather not see that. Hopefully, of course, not much egregious CGI. Besides that, I mean, we're just gonna have to watch it, right? We're gonna have to watch it, and from there on, it's waiting for three. For season three, that will hopefully be a little bit more like season one in quality and a little bit less like season two in quality. Although from like halfway point on, season two, it's actually getting decent. It's actually decent. But yeah, we won't know what happens in this episode, in episode 12, until we watch it. So, subs, why is the timer started? Oh, I know why. I'm gonna have to fix it later. Subs, sound, support. You can support me on Patreon, you can support me on Throne, you can support me by sharing my videos. It all helps. And with all of that out of the way, we can finally start watching episode 12 of Tate no Yusha no Nariagari Season 2, version by subs, please, as always. And we can do that in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, back to his Japanese life. Is that Naofumi? Oh, Kyo. Okay, Naofumi and Kyo have a completely different approach to what everything is. Naofumi is a regular member of society, simply a gamer, and Kyo is just a fat, neat slob who offed himself because he couldn't bear his own neatness and slobbiness anymore. So that confirms it. Kyo is a summoned hero. I still have absolutely fucking no clue about his motivations, but hey, now we know that he wasn't likable even in his real life. And of course, we know that he was summoned from another world and probably reborn as a child because his childhood friend remembers him as a strange child wearing strange clothes. So he wasn't summoned. That's interesting. Gonna note it down. Making amends. Another party member? Could it be? I guess one swordsman, swordswoman is out of the party, kind of sorta, because Raphtalia is now her own hero. So this would bring another sword hero into the party. I like the music here. Very Indian looking monsters too. True. Although what can Ethnobald realistically do? Just start dropping boats on the enemies' heads? I mean, probably it has a big as fucking spike on the bottom. Wouldn't surprise me if he was actually able to attack that way. Yeah, some weird vats. Probably dissolved humans. Oh no, actual humans. Chimeras, yep. That's what happens when you ask a villain for power. It never ends well. And they have cursed weapons as well. Who's the Twin Tails one? I don't remember her. Yeah. Your master died because of his very own stupidity. Let's be honest here. He was explicitly told to not move and the motherfucker just moved. Kinda sorta. I mean, that's the power of a hero, first and foremost. They're gonna self-destruct? Their weapons are. Dritshildo. Not third, just dritto. What was that with Risha's face? The junk is very much still here. And they're still alive. Here comes Big Boss. Okay, so it is Naofumi and his party that are actually going to face Kyo. I mean, it had to happen this way, let's be honest. They wouldn't have Kyo just die off screen. Oh, he's a zombie! And he has some sort of a shield? A mirror, rather. He's undead. Oh, a homunculus. Gotcha, one of the copies. Wielder of the mirror vassal weapon. Interesting. Stop talking, start killing? I mean, yeah, that's what you get. That's precisely what you get when you ask a villain for help. Monkey paw curls and all that. Shield versus katana? Are we gonna do the thing where we keep stripping party members one by one? I think we're doing the thing. Now Philo is also behind. It's just what Naofumi Iwatani. I mean, if you say so. Forgive me, master, but I must go all out just this once. An artificial hourglass or some very special vat? A very special vat, probably. Is Kyo gonna turn into a monster? Wouldn't surprise me. Desperate villains often do that. What was that? Vitoria? Rage Shield? Or something else? Tourette Shield? Rage Shield. Yeah, Rage Shield, of course. Rage Shield. What else? Okay, we're going full armor or just the shield? That's the exact face you did not want to see, my dude. The dragon. You better not touch those flames. Although I guess with the church dissolved, they have access to holy water, so... Okay. Kyo is acting awful confident for a dead man walking. Just straight up going with the blood dragon. This is the art I wanted to see. This is the quality I wanted to see. Finally, Shield Hero. Finally, the series begins, as it should have. Okay. Going full dragon mode. Not against their will, though, so... Yeah, you better not get close, Rishia. Okay, this is not the quality I wanted to see. I mean, he's not wrong. Naofumi is not wrong. He literally spitting the truth. Maybe don't do that, but what do they have to do with that? Earl Grey with lemon. Okay, this dude is finally dead. And they gained a brand new weapon, vassal weapon. Apages Satanas! In the name of Jesus, I compel you! Unlimited blade works. Yeah, not gonna be that easy. Why'd you stop? Yeah, because he himself is weak. Exactly. Now he's just chilling and burning. Cut on the cheek? We going with the cut on the cheek? I guess we're not. Raphtalia? Ost. Ost. Yeah, you have a motherfucking turret! Kill who? I guess Rishia. We're going turret shield or some tortoise shield? Tortoise armor, fucking Gundam mode or something? Or what are we doing? They didn't get cursed, so that's good news. We're going turret mode, I guess. Or, yeah, turret mode. Well, joke's on you, the turret has anti-air capabilities. I bet you can't. You have a vassal weapon, Naofumi has a cardinal weapon. Lend me your power! I believe in you, Naofumi-sama! Take my key! Chi, whatever! And the theme song. Oh, a combination attack of a shield and a mirror? And even Ost joins in. Would you look at that? No, like, I literally have no clue what reasons he had. I literally have not a clue about Kyo's motivations. Besides, I'm miserable and I want to make everybody miserable. Which isn't great far as motivation goes. Well, guys like you end up dead. I'd rather end up a fool than end up dead, but that might just be me. And that ended the wave. I guess Kyo was the boss of the wave. A fusion of shield with mirror, or what? She's sticking around? I guess she's the book hero now? She was able to pick up the book? Who's the mirror hero? Did it fuse with Naofumi's shield, or is it laying on the ground somewhere? Yeah, good riddance. Okay, good old banter. Return to his world, probably. Or we can hang around, I guess. Sure. Meanwhile, Naofumi's world is getting decimated because the Three Stooges can fight a wave if their life depended on it. I guess it does, and yet they still can fight. Okay, quest complete. Return to the quest giver. Gotcha. Well, thank him then. Still have like half a minute. There we go. I mean, if Glass was able to go, then are we getting some romantic relationship here? That's the vibe I'm getting. Look how short she is. He's completely chilled out right now. Smiling slightly. Oh, that's literally it. We're not getting any after credits scene as they arrive or nothing. I mean, there's still like a few seconds left. Okay, a minute or two, so maybe we're gonna get something. Okay, we're gonna see something more here, or just cut. Okay, there's something more. Okay, I'm glad he kept the armor. And he's a Viscount now. Would you look at that? Boo! Why does Raphtalia wear her regular clothes? I liked her more in her Japanese style clothes. Okay, I guess the chimeras are being treated. Nice. Whomst. New party members for Naofumi. Calling it now. And Naofumi is back home. The shield hero. Yes, you are. Yes, you are Naofumi. That was the episode. Okay. That actually works as an ending. Not gonna lie. That was decent. Not mind-blowing by any means, but okay, it did have some actually like great moments. And we're gonna see those moments again, because we're gonna go through this episode again. Shall we? As usual, as is tradition. Yeah, we see a completely different approaches to games and gaming and whatnot. Now, Fumi is an otaku who doubles a little bit in everything. Sure, he's into games, but he's also into masturbation, as you can see by the pack of uh, what do you call them? Not wet wipes, the tissues on his desk. Why did it elude me so much? He has a decent sound setup. He probably likes to listen to music. He has some manga he likes to read. And this dude is just like, oh, the world is a shithole. I don't belong here. Oh, my games are the only world I have. Oh, Karin-chan, my beloved in visual novel. Oh, ho, ho, ho. He's just a. He's just a. I mean, he two sides of like an otaku, right? We have an otaku who does things, who lives his life, and is an otaku, and we have this dude who's completely consumed by the otakuness. It doesn't seem like he washes his clothes. It doesn't seem like he bathes. He does. He just sits there and I don't know plays Tibia or fucking RuneScape or whatever. And now Fumi was just chilling, selling some items, doing some quests, stuff like that. And this dude is like, oh, I was leading clans. I was someone. The games gave me purpose. I could do anything. I was someone in the games. I was no one in real life. I was famous. And now Fumi has a healthy approach to it. Yeah, sure, games are cool, but I enjoy more things as well. I'm not all about games. I have varied interests. Games were all I had. Nameless Vagrant, die, 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 I'll kill you all, die. Somebody ban this loser. TLDR, don't care. I hacked your IP. Oh, that's extremely realistic. You often have this loser in a game who's like, oh, you don't have the maximum possible DPS. Yeah, sure, we killed the boss, but we could have done it a half a split second sooner. I'm gonna hack your IP. I fucked your mom and whatnot, and you just like you're sitting there laughing at this fucker, and that was Kyo. That was Kyo. Naofumi was the one laughing. When he was done laughing, he closed the game and went to a convenience store to buy himself, I don't know, what did he buy? A bag. He bought something, I don't know. Yeah, my life was an ordinary one, sure. And look at this dude. R slash neckbeard nest. Like picture perfect depiction. Bottles of booze, bottles of cans of Mountain Dew probably or Dr. Pepper or something, whatever they drink in Japan. completely disheveled. At least he packed some of his stuff into trash bags. So, gotta give him props for that. Most don't do that. Most just throw their garbage on the floor. And he just stuffed himself. Yep. Do a somersault. And oh yeah, he was transported to another world, but he's a hero and people are telling him what to do. No, don't tell me what to do. This is the life I wanted. I'm going to seize it for all it's worth. And I'm going to summon Calamity. Why? Like, no, genuinely, why? Maybe it was portrayed better in the source material. It probably was. But genuinely, what is Kyo's motivation? He lived a miserable life as a miserable, angry little prick. He was transported here. He can grab the life as it is. He has a second chance. And he decides to bring about the end of the world? That seems weird. Like, I would fully expect Kyo to be someone who gets transported to this world and goes like, I don't know, demon lord-ish route, buys himself a castle or kills someone and takes over their mansion, brings some women who are attracted to his wealth or strength or something, is overall a shitbag but just enjoys life in his own disgusting little way. Why this? This I do not understand. I absolutely do not understand Kyo's motivations. Or rather, like, I understand his motivations. I can see where those motivations could have taken him. But they took him in a completely different direction? The effects, the actions don't follow the motivations, if you know what I mean. Right? If Kyo was wronged in this world, kind of like Naofumi was, for example, if Naofumi was a lesser man, he would probably also try to end the world. Because, oh, this world is shit, I just want to end it and whatnot, right? I can understand that being a motivation that leads to the end of the world, to trying to bring about the end of the world. Living a pathetic previous life, how does that lead you to end the world? I don't know. I have absolutely no clue. If it's actually like spelled out better in the original material, in the source material, do let me know, because I'm very curious what Kyo's motivations actually are. And yeah, they were sent because they're these Four Cardinal Heroes and their followers. Yep, makes sense. Thankfully, they called an Uber. Here's the power he stole from the Spirit Tortoise to create a wave. She knew, but she didn't know what he was planning to do with that power. She thought that maybe he's going to stop the waves, build a shield around the world, or create a low orbital ion cannon to blast the waves apart, or, you know, something. That he'd do something beneficial with this power. And again, why didn't he? If he was striving so much for attention, for validation, for being the best and being the hero and taking the most out of the life, right? Grasping life by the balls, he could have easily achieved it by actually figuring something out, making something that would help them fight the waves. He'd be lauded as a hero, as a genuine hero. Why didn't he? I don't know. I really have no clue about Kyo's motivations. Yeah, she thought he'd use it to protect this world. That's like the first assumption. And yeah, she should help now for me. Of course she should. Some cool fighting. Interesting how the monsters in this wave are all like Indian themed. We have elephants, like decorated elephants. We have lamias. We have some flying bird people. Look at how she blushes. Yeah, we may need to defeat Kyob. Exactly how it has to go. Those are all probably homunculi of the dead dude of Kazuki. Or maybe of different people, I don't know. I guess we don't know the full extent of Kyo's experiments. Because initially I thought that in those vats were just multiple copies of Kazuki that Kyo can just throw around willy nilly as if it's nothing, like disposable hero, essentially, a front for what he's doing. Kyo doesn't want to be at the forefront, doesn't want to show himself, so he's just sending copies and copies of Kazuki. I thought it's going to be something like that, but we know that he's also keeping the mirror hero in one of those vats, so I'm assuming those vats are full of different people as well. Fusion of a human and Byakko copy. Yep. And cursed weapons. Okay. The two girls with long hair, they were Kazuki's followers. Who's the twin tails? Am I missing something? Am I tripping? Or do I like, or did she genuinely like not appear anywhere? Because I really don't remember her. Kazuki had two followers, not three. Kyo promised us. Yeah, that's what you get out of a promise from a villain. Slash. Did she even unsheath her sword? She did. She did unsheath her sword. I thought it's gonna be one of those like click clack, and they just burst in slices of blood. But no, she did unsheath her sword. Cool. It's because of the jewel that Theory's son gave me? Yeah, maybe. I think it more has to do with the fact that you're just a hero. You're a vassal hero. It comes with a pretty big power spike, let's be honest here. I guess maybe the jewel has something to do with it, I don't know. Gives the same power as Philos High Quick. Kinda, I guess. Dritte shield. We can't say third shield. No. Dritte shield. Second shield is normie enough. First shield, second shield, those are normie names. We need something to spice things up. So why not Dritte? And everybody survived. That's cool. At least seemingly. Kazuki is just a homunculus with a body of the mirror hero. Interesting. Rather, with the soul of the mirror hero. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe so that Kazuki can use the mirror weapon, but if so, then why not just revive the mirror hero? Again, probably was more expanded upon in the source material. And yeah, that's what you get for making deals with villains. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. I feel we're gonna go through the whole process of shedding party members. You know, the usual, right? Someone stays, oh, I'm going to fight this dude. You guys go ahead. Then there's some other obstacle. I'm going to hold this button so that you can go. Go, go, go. I'm gonna hold it. Don't worry about me. Then you have something else happen, and another member of the party drops out. And in the end, it's just the main hero channeling the power of all his friends and defeating the villain. But no, we just shed the members of the party once. And not all of them. You have to have an ego to build yourself a throne room like that. Goes that last wave using lost power, yeah. Rage shield, of course. It's raging, and Kyo is, of course, whatchamacallit, Kyo is, like, I guess heckling him. That's not the word I wanted to use, but I'm gonna use it because I didn't remember any better one. Remember what I did to Raphtalia? Remember what I did to Philo? Remember what I did to Ost? What you gonna do about it? Well, this. That's what he's gonna do. Foolish sinner, I sentence you to a cast. To cast your screams unto the heavens within the dragon's jaws, born from my flesh. Become an offering to the gods to howl. Well, last time Naofumi did it, there was that chain dragon sprouting from his blood from the ground. I guess this time it was just like the dragon that he defeated that was freed and merged with Naofumi somehow. Wrath Shield. This is what I wanted to see. Like, such a contrast between this, pretty much completely flat and fairly simple, and this, a close-up on Naofumi's face. Even this scene, this little shot, also has a lot of detail. All those shots have. And yeah, like, I fully agree with Naofumi here. I fully agree with him. And I agree with him because he's saying the truth. Rishia just wanted to join Naofumi to get into the Bow Hero's pants. Like, that was literally all it was to her. She might have changed, but probably didn't. Or maybe did. I don't know. I'm okay with that. Raphtalia and Philochan are different, right? Well, yeah. They joined Naofumi because they wanted to join Naofumi, not because they had some ulterior motive. So, yes, they are different. And they've been with him for a longer time. And they are stronger than you, so yes, they are different. But besides that, I don't know why she's mentioning it. Sure, maybe you were using them at first, but who could blame you? Yes. You think of us as... yes. So, what about it? Like, sure, he thinks of you as treasured friends, but that doesn't make his words any less true? Sure, they are loaded with anger and rage and whatnot, and if he were himself and he were to try to convey the same thing, he would have probably used some better language, some lighter things. He probably wouldn't have called you a whore. But the meaning of his words, the sense is just truth. Get out now. For me, a little bit of a pack of Satanas. I guess Risha can exercise dragons now. Yet another power boost for her. A little bit of fighting. Of course, talking with the dragon. Ost out of nowhere. You don't need these flames. But they're cool though! Like, sure, turret shield might be as powerful. I don't know, we haven't really seen the extent of its power. Sure, but it doesn't look this cool. It doesn't give Naofumi cool armor. It doesn't have spikes. It doesn't have flames. It doesn't have the glowing tattoos on his face. Turret shield time. I initially thought that Naofumi kind of got like a new armor kind of deal with wings, and he's holding those balls of light, like, his hands at the bottom, and he's just power stancing with them in his hands. But no, it's just parts of the shield, and it's just the shield. Gives him wings, but so does Red Bull, so it's not particularly big of a thing. It gives him wings, but Kyo also can have wings. And it really is just a turret. It's not a cool armor. It's just a turret. So I still prefer the Rage Shield. Yeah, the power of everybody combined. The Mirror Vassal weapon. And even Ost joins in. Would you look at that? And Kyo just goes out like it's no big deal. Guys like you always end up looking like fools in the end, and he just gets Thanos out of existence. Kyo was a villain who had no motivation and no, like, staying power and pretty much no reaction to anything that was happening. Very weird. Very weird far as villains go. And yeah, this moment here, the moment of his defeat, really exemplifies just how much he lacked motivation. Usually you have that moment of, oh no, you have foiled my plans, what have you done? No, I can't die here, I have so much to do. Right? You usually have that kind of moment. Kyo didn't have anything to do. He didn't have any goals. He didn't have any aspirations. He didn't have anything to take care of. He just was plopped into this world, tried to bring about the apocalypse, and was plopped out of this world. Very nothing villain, honestly. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe he got much more characterization in the source material. Probably did. But I don't know what kind of characterization would have made it better, honestly. What's wrong with your shield? I guess Naofumi is absorbing the particles of Kyo. Is he going to unlock a Kyo shield now? That'd be interesting. Actually, that brings an interesting point. Can you feed a person to your weapon? And what would the effect be? Do you get like a human shield? Or do you get a Bob shield? Do the effects differ between people? Like, you feed a blacksmith to your weapon and you get a blacksmith shield. You feed a fisherman to your weapon and you get a fisherman shield or something. Because he genuinely is absorbing the particles of Kyo, it seems. Or maybe the particles of Ost. I don't know, I guess the jar with the tortoise power was also broken in the blast? Not quite sure. I mean, probably. It was a big fucking blast. I guess Naofumi is absorbing maybe the tortoise power? Maybe he's absorbing Ost? Maybe Ost is gonna appear again? I don't know. Found the missing mirror vassal weapon. We found the book weapon. Now we're gonna find some people to wield them. And yeah, he does have the mirror weapon. I initially thought that the mirror vassal weapon kind of fused with the shield weapon. Shield weapon. I guess it's the shield weapon, the shield, not vassal, but not core. Why do I keep calling them core? With Naofumi's shield, essentially. But no, because he's holding it. And of course, you can stick around, you can have some fun, you can rest. We're gonna have a banquet, we're gonna go fishing. Psych! We're getting recalled to the original world. Mission complete, retrieve the spirit tortoise's power. And they're going back. There's still Melromarc in his field of vision. Interesting. Raphtalia, Philo, Rishia. Okay, so Raphtalia is back in his team, and her icon is now a katana, because she's a katana hero. Philo has a slave crest, Risha has a slave crest. Sure. Look at how happy he is. He's genuinely happy. The like content kind of happy. Right? At this very moment, nothing is bothering him. Sweet nirvana, essentially. I like it. I feel like there's some romantic relationship being kinda hinted at here. Maybe one-sided, probably one-sided. Naofumi is denser than osmium, but although no, we don't know if he's dense actually. So far, all of his like interactions with women who were romantically interested in him, where he essentially daughter zoned everybody so far. So I don't know. Maybe Kizuna is going to bring about some change. Amadil, the last minute now, Fumi was smiling. Yes, he was. And he has this goofy ass smile on his face even now. Repeating the moments of this season. And we're back in Melromarc. Medal, the title of a Viscount. I like that Naofumi kept his armor. I don't like that Raphtalia has her old one. She's a katana hero, for fuck's sakes. Western style armor is unbecoming. It really is unbecoming. She should be wearing that kimono or whatever she was wearing. Why is Risha's face so long here? Notea Surenin and Itsuki worked hard to defeat it. Well, it's a wonder this world still fucking exists if they were the only ones left. They probably got help from Vittoria, let's be honest here. Paid her respects. Itsuki smiled. And Risha decided to stick around. Nice. And they are helping the chimeras. At least one of the chimeras. They're helping the chimera and some random dude. I know, is that the only chimera that's left alive? Or what's going on? I don't know. Who is she? Why is the quality suddenly shit again? I mean, the cat is interesting. The choreography of the combat is interesting. they're doing something here with those smear frames, with those effects and whatnot. There's barely any shadow, there's barely any detail. Even here, there's barely any shadow, barely any detail. There's the Phoenix, the next Guardian Beast to awaken. I hope we're not going... I hope to God we're not going to go through another Spirit Tortoise arc. I hope we aren't. I mean, isn't it said that those beasts are like last resort? So sure, the Phoenix is to awaken, but it doesn't have to awaken. And I'm guessing she's gonna be a character in the next season. The I wanted to say a trident, but it has only 2 prongs, so bident hero maybe. Right, we have those like 7-star heroes or something or other still left in Naofumi's world. So maybe Saber hero and Bident hero. I like the detail on her that her hair looks like an orca or a dolphin or whatever. A sea creature. I like it. Plays well with her using a Bident. Okay, what else do we see here? Slave trader. With a couple of fresh slaves. Both have vaguely feline ears and vaguely feline tails. The one on the right has her face bandaged up, and her arms, interesting, a victim of a fire, probably? Possibly, maybe, I don't know. What I do know is that they will be the brand new additions to Naofumi's team. Probably, I don't know. And Naofumi arrives back to his lands. Because I'm Viscount Naofumi Iwatani, the shield hero. And now we wait for season 3. And hope to God it's better. Okay. Let's start by quickly, and I mean quickly because there aren't many, going through the theories I had. Do I even need to pull out my markers? I'm gonna pull them out just in case. Kyo is stealing souls. Tortoise was able to absorb only 7. I've no fucking clue. Yellow. There was that counter, right, that showed 7. I still don't know what that 7 was all about, so I'm gonna highlight it in yellow. Rishi are more powerful than Itsuki. We haven't had them try each other, so we don't know that. Itsuki wants Rishia back, but she says no, probably season 3. Your level and skills exist on a per world basis. We don't know that either. We didn't have a look at Naofumi's and his team's levels. Are they back to what they were in the original world? Are they the same as when they left Glass's world? Or did they combine? We don't know that. So I'm gonna leave it unhighlighted. 2 worlds can help each other, like soul soothing potion for spirit people, something in the other way. Right now, Fumi's world has access to soul soothing potion. Glass's world doesn't. They can probably trade. That wasn't touched upon. Rafu-chan transforms into mini Raphtalia in Naofumi's world. Did we see Rafu-chan at the end? I think we might have. I'm gonna double check real quick. Well, Rafu isn't here. Maybe somewhere earlier. Don't see Rafu here. Don't see Rafu here. Okay, I see Rafu. Rafu hasn't been changed, so red. Orange, rather. Like, Rafu still might transform into a loli, wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, such is the trope of animes. But it didn't happen on return, so orange it is. Kazuki will reappear. No, he won't. Kyo was isekai'd as a young child. No, he wasn't. He was isekai'd as an, I'm guessing like 30-something-year-old. But he was isekai'd into a child, so I guess green with the note that as should be into, yeah, into a young child, and now it makes sense. Weapons from one world might have future heroes in another, and thus their power is unharnessed, and that somehow has far-reaching consequences, like, for example, all of the weapons and all of the heroes of all of the weapons needing to unite to fight against the waves themselves. We aren't quite that far in the story, so we don't know that quite yet. And the last few. No world actually defeated all waves, ever. You need heroes of both worlds to fight later waves. And that kind of ties into the previous theory, and it's essentially that, yeah, no hero, no group of heroes, no world actually defeated all waves. It was always some world that has fallen before those waves, and the waves disappeared from the other. What if both worlds fight through all of the waves? Maybe both of those worlds will be free of them. Probably. But we don't have a confirmation for that or denial. Kyo was reincarnated, not summoned. That very much seems like the case. And I actually wanted to talk about it a little bit. Honestly surprised how many notes I got. A page and some, this part. Not the most, but I also expected to take far fewer of them. Like Skeleton Knight, I literally have like 4 theories. But Shield Hero, for all its faults, still does world building well. So, that was theories. Let's now talk about this episode. One important thing before I forget. This episode introduced us to a concept of being reincarnated in another world. And that's very interesting. So far, the only arrivals from Japan that we know of were transported, summoned. Right? Naofumi, the Three Stooges, Kizuna, all of them were summoned and transported to the world as they were. Kyo is a completely different situation. Kyo was isekai'd. He offed himself and was resurrected, revived, reincarnated into this world as his in-game character. That's also very interesting. The world of Shield Hero so far has struck me as not very gamified. Like, sure, there are menus and all that, but ultimately there isn't that much gamification. But with how they got out of the timeless prison, and now with Kyo being revived, resurrected as his in-game character, in-game avatar, that makes me wonder. What the fuck is going on. But that also raises other questions. How many other Japanese people were resurrected in this world? How many of them weren't summoned, but they were just reincarnated? and how many of them retain their memories, right? Also, it's an odd coincidence that Kyo, someone reincarnated, was able to use a vassal weapon. I don't know what implications I can get from there, but it's certainly something to take note of. I don't know in what context, how is it going to be significant, but important to remember. What else can I say about this episode? Uh, very much kept the quality we got used to so far. A lot of junkiness, a lot of weird faces, a lot of. Okay, animation I guess was decent most of the time. But yeah, a lot of weird like facial expressions and faces and off art of like completely off model. We get used to it, unfortunately, so far. There were a few highlights, absolutely. Um, Raphtalia's fight, there wasn't much to that fight, but it was done really well, and I can appreciate that. Now Fumi being transformed into his rage mode, that also had some nice quality to it. Later, now Fumi with his turret shield charging the attack and whatnot, that was also nice. Problem is, every time you cut to Kyo, you just see how low budget everything looks. You cut to now Fumi charging up and being all angry and whatnot, and you're like, yes, this is the show I wanted to watch. You cut to Kyo and you see like seasonal isekai trash quality. Not even that. Some seasonal isekai trash actually have better production quality than some parts of Shield Hero. But I guess that's unavoidable when you outsource. I don't know how much, but outsource at least some of your production to some, I believe, like South Korean studio. As an ending, it worked well. I gotta admit. Everything that needed closure got that closure. We all got, and by we I mean people here, people in this anime got out better out of it than they were when they went in. Right? They have new companions, they have new compatriots, they have new knowledge, they have new strength. That's how every arc more or less should end up, where the characters are always a few steps beyond what they were when they started the arc. So this very much works as an end. It also works as an ending because we got that post-credit scene that really closed everything off. If they were to end on just Naofumi flying through the tunnel, through the time-space continuum, that wouldn't be that great. But this after credit scene really tied everything together. I'm a huge fan of something being shown after the ending. I just really like it when the show just reaches the climax and it ends with a blast, and then you have that little bit of petering out where everybody is, or just the characters of the show sitting around the table having fun with some hot pot, something like that that lets you slowly wind down from the excitement of the finale. I'm a huge fan of that, and I'm a huge fan of that here as well. What else? I don't like that Raphtalia is back to her original clothes. I have to admit that. I'm looking forward towards the next season because they set up some very, very interesting things, very interesting topics, very interesting threads. What is Raphtalia's place in this world now that she's a hero and planned for? Right? She's not one of the 7-star heroes. She's not one of the 4 cardinal heroes. What kind of a hero is she? What kind of a status should she have, and what, and and so on and so forth. I like that Rishia stuck around and seemingly kinda got over Itsuki. I'm still not sure about that, but I like that she's here and didn't just immediately run off to Itsuki. Can appreciate that. I was kind of hoping Kyo's childhood friend would also join Naofumi, but I guess she just stayed in her original world. And I guess we're not kind of sorta. Yeah, I guess we're not going for the like one additional character in the party per season. And maybe one additional character per 2 seasons actually, because season 1 was 2 core, and we had Rishia join us at the end. So maybe at the end of season 3, someone's gonna join Naofumi's party. We don't know that. Mm, what else? Raphtalia and Phila, I guess she had a Kigurumi, but Raphtalia changing her clothes, I'm looking at her right now, really doesn't sit well with me. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so hung up on it, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Uh, it was cool to see the Raid Shield again, for sure. I'm a huge fan of like spiky, bulky armor and whatnot. Not a huge fan of the turret shield because it's not like imaginative, you know? The Raid Shield that Naofumi has some cool abilities. The Chain Dragon, the like he puts out his shield and if you hit the shield you burn, and that kind of stuff. His turret shield is like turret, pew 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 pew, and that's all it is. Not. Oh, I guess I moved my hands enough that my watch tells me that I hit my goal of daily steps. Interesting, interesting. But yeah, not a huge fan of the turret shield. Very plain. Maybe it's going to evolve into something. I would love it to be an armor. The way I loved the Raid Shield, the Dragon armor, I would love the Turret Shield armor. That would offset just how lame the Turret Shield is. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? I'm surprised that Ren Itsuki and whatever the third Stooge's name is actually managed to hold off a wave. I guess the wave didn't have the reinforcement from Glass, because the last few waves they fought in season 1, Glass and her team were always involved in them. This time they weren't, so I guess this wave was kinda easier than what they had to deal with so far. And maybe they've also been humbled a little. Maybe Ren, maybe Itsuki, Motoyasu, that's his name, Motoyasu. Not sure. Maybe they have been humbled a little. Maybe they took to training because they didn't like just how easily they were dispatched by just a single dude with a book. Not even someone who has a cardinal weapon, someone who just has a vassal weapon. I wonder where their stories will go as well. Anything else that needs to be said about this episode? Not sure how much of a fan I am of yet again kind of repeating the trope of Naofumi getting angry, someone putting a hand on his hand, Naofumi no longer being angry, Naofumi being rescued, saved, and using his newfound power, the power of the Nakama, to defeat the enemies. I hope it doesn't continue for much longer. I hope Naofumi either fully switches to his turret shield when push comes to shove, and maybe just uses Raid Shield if shit really hits the fan. Everybody's on the verge of dying, and that's literally his only out. Maybe. Or if he actually manages to tame his Raid Shield. I would love nothing more than for Naofumi to tame the dragon, to be able to use it just like that. Sure, maybe he still needs to, pump himself up with some rage, with some anger, but to use it without succumbing to the anger, if you know what I mean. I would love for that to happen. What else? I kind of also want to see Raphtalia's weapon evolving. I'm not sure if vassal weapons can evolve. I would assume so. I hope they don't skip out on it. I hope Raphtalia also gets like a rope katana or mushroom katana or I don't know, butter katana or stuff like that, right? She actually feeds like stick of butter to her weapon and she can make the floor not sticky, slippery. That would be cool. Tell me that wouldn't be cool. It would be one hell of an imaginative thing to do, that's for sure. Yeah, overall, I enjoyed this episode. I really did. Probably one of the most enjoyable episodes of this season, and let's be honest, that's what it's all about. You want the finale to be the best. You want to focus on the first episode to be amazing, and you want the finale to be amazing. First episode wasn't amazing. The finale was. So I guess they take half the marks. Anything else about this episode? I don't think so. And the video is already running long, so I'm gonna tell you my thoughts about this season as a whole. The first half of it, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. It was much needed setup, sure, absolutely, it was needed as a setup, but it didn't do much more than just being a prolonged setup. It was half a core that could have been an email. They could have done it in single episode. Just start in medias res as now as everybody is fighting the tortoise, and in one or two episodes have Naofumi just go in, maybe add some flashbacks to their planning and whatnot. Naofumi just goes in, meets Lark, Therese, and Glass, and just they beeline for Kyo. They kill Kyo. Kyo kills Ost. They get transported. Boom. Episode 3 of the series begins. That probably would have been preferable, honestly. With how prominent the tortoise is on all the promo art, on all the posters, you really didn't want the first half to be that prominent. The second half, great. Actually great. Had some great ideas in it. Had some amazing characters. I love Kizuna. Had some amazing characterization added for Therese, for Glass, for Lark, for everybody. We were introduced to a brand new world that was kind of a parallel world, but also so much different. Brand new races, brand new types of food and animals, starting from scratch, from zero to hero. Yet again, it had some genuinely amazing things to it. I would have loved it to be its own core. I would have loved to spend 12 episodes in this arc. Instead of just 6, make it 12. And I'll be on cloud 9. But alas, they didn't do that. Still, for how fairly short time it had, it really managed to pack a lot into it. The second half of the season, I mean, a metric factor of world building that completely shook up my like beliefs, my what I thought was my knowledge about this world, what I thought things are. It completely shook that up. It introduced some really cool, really interesting routes with a lot of potential that I hope we will explore. There's some moth here. You can see it on the camera. Yeah, it really gave us a lot. The first half Eh, a lot of nothing for the turret shield and Ost and the knowledge that, hey, there are beasts in this world and here's your villain. Usually anime have a setup episode or a setup two-parter. This anime had a setup six-parter, essentially. That's what it feels like to me. The second half, much more. We know that the whole deal with having to kill the heroes of another world, that's not true. We now have Glass, Lark, Therese, and Kizuna as our companions. We now know that the waves aren't something completely otherworldly and uncontrollable. You can influence it. You can build a little lab and you can research the waves and you can do something with them. If you can summon a wave, I'm assuming you can also stop it, or you can revert it, or you can do whatever other thing. The world really has expanded a lot. There's a plethora of new possibilities that can happen, and I love the second half of the season for that. Some amazing characters. I really started enjoying Risha eventually. I loved Kizuna. After Glass, Therese, and Lark were given more characterization, I'm a huge fan of Glass now. I really am. I already liked her in the first season, but now I'm a huge fan. Um, we got even more characters introduced to us. We get more knowledge about the weapons, how vassal weapons choose their wielder and whatnot. It's like the first time we heard that this world also has vassal heroes. Where were they all this time? Fuck if I know, but they are somewhere. And I can't wait to meet them. What kind of imaginative weapons will they wield? We had a boat. We had a fishing rod. What else? A cart hero? A gun hero? Gun hero would be cool. Imagine Hajime from Arifureta just rolling up with his guns. That'd be interesting. I kind of want to see a crossover between Shield Hero and Arifureta. That'd be cool. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, the second half really shined, and I really did enjoy my time mostly with the second half. Sure, there were some low points, like calling some big attack names and the fight just being click, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang. You can definitely see the low budget here, the low production quality, and I'm left wondering why. You know? The first season of Shield Hero was a smash hit. Everybody was talking about it, everybody loved it. They immediately greenlit two more seasons. How good does a show have? How good does the reception of a show has to be for them to greenlight two seasons right from the get-go? Why did it not get the budget it needed? Why did it not get the time it needed? It's been years since season 1 and this shit was delayed. Let's not forget about it. This season was delayed. So why the issues? Were they hoping to just ride on the coattails of the brand? Slap Shield Hero in the title, people are gonna watch it? I think that might be it. I hope they were burned enough to make sure season 3 is actually up to snuff, but I also hope they weren't burned enough to cancel season 3. Because that's a possibility I don't want to entertain. But it is a possibility. And I would hate for that to happen because Shield Hero deserves more seasons. But it also deserves those seasons to be of quality. It seems to me like perhaps that's the modus operandi here. Make the first season great, and when people know the name of the series, and when you know that people will want to watch it, just do whatever for season 2 and people are still gonna see it. Because people are attached to the characters, to the world, they wanna know where the story goes, and they can excuse some wonky faces and the non existent animation. I mean, that's kind of what happened with One Punch Man. I know that it also changed studios, but if they wanted to make One Punch Man really good, One Punch Man Season 2 really good, they wouldn't have changed the studios. And even in case of Shield here, we also kind of sort of see a change of studios because they brought on board an outsourcing company. And I don't know how correct I am in placing most of the blame on the outsourcing company, but from what I know of outsourcing companies and the quality of art they put out, it's usually not the greatest. For example, Steven Universe was pretty much entirely outsourced, and it's more often off model than it is on model. That's what outsourcing does. So I think I'm correct in placing the blame here. Why did they need to outsource it? I don't know. Did they not get enough time? Did they not get enough money? Whatever happened, I surely hope doesn't happen in season 3. Now let's talk about the details. Animation, serviceable. Sometimes actually kind of good. Some cool choreography to fights. Some cool effects and whatnot. They didn't use sliding PNGs, or at least they didn't use them enough for me to notice. So props for that. Many anime that you can see have poor production quality resort to sliding PNGs and slideshows and stills. Shield Hero, credit where it's due, didn't. So props for that. Art, sometimes really good, like Naofumi's transformation scenes. Sometimes, as I mentioned, completely off model, contorted faces. Not great overall. Not great overall. CG again, to their credit, was used sparingly. Philo was CG in a couple of moments, the card was CG, the tortoise was CG. Besides that, we didn't really have any CG in the entire second half. That's commendable. That really is commendable. What's next? Sound design. Cool, nothing to write home about. Music. I think I still prefer the OPs of the first season, but I didn't dislike the OP of this one, that's for sure. The ED, I honestly can't remember it, so I can't tell you much about it. In general, I don't really pay much attention to EDs. They are never really like memorable. I think the only two EDs that I actually remember is Clanad, the Dango song, and Blood Blockade Battlefront, or whatever its name in Japanese is, Sugar Song and Bitter Step. Sugar Song and Bitter Step is top notch, chef's kiss. Go listen to it, it's amazing. And go watch Blockade Battlefront. Amazing show. Not for everybody, sure, but if you're into it, you're into it, and you will watch it all. These songs in this episode, in the finale, they were more memorable. They were cool. I actually noticed a song being cool. And when I notice a song being cool, that means it's cool. If I don't notice a song, it means it's doing its job by just being some background music. If I notice it for being bad, it means it's really bad. But I don't think I ever actually met some bad song. Although, which show was it? There was one show that had the soundtrack completely mismatched with what was going on the screen. Can't name it for you. I think something I've seen this season. Maybe Skeleton Knight? I don't know. I really don't know, so I'm not gonna try to remember. What else? Characters, I said it time and again, the new characters, amazing. I need more. I want more. Hopefully the third season is going to go for split storytelling. A little bit from Naofumi's perspective, a little bit from Kizuna's perspective. I would love it. The world building, we got a lot of it. I love every single bit of it. The villain of this season, Kyo did its job as a villain, did his job as a villain. He was kind of entertaining, um, but ultimately fairly purposeless. I I think that's like the one adjective I can give to Kyo after seeing this episode. Purposeless. There was no purpose to what he was doing. There was no motivation. There was no goal. There was no aspiration. Nothing. Kyo could have been replaced by a really bad wave, essentially, and the result would be mostly the same. Hmm. Again, probably source material handled it better. I have no doubt, but I can only talk about what I've seen. I haven't read the source material, neither the manga nor the light novels, so it is what it is. It is what I see. Anything else that needs to be said about this season itself? I don't think so. I am certainly looking forward to season 3, hoping it will be better, because it deserves to be better. Shield Hero is not a series that deserves to be someone's unwanted child. It deserves to be the golden child of whatever studio produces it. I can't wait for more of the characters, I can't wait for more of the world building and the results of it and the effects and what consequences will the additional knowledge bring. Can't wait for more stories set in this world, that's for sure. And I think with that, I'm going to end it here. We need to wait for season 3 now. But before season 3, we also have a lot more anime to watch. And I'm going to be streaming this Sunday at 16 o'clock GMT plus 2? Something like that. Central European time zone, 16 o'clock. I'm going to be streaming my look at the future seasons, what the next season brings, and also a little bit at looking at this season, this current season in retrospect. So be there or be square. The waiting page for the stream is already up. So go there, click the reminder so you don't miss out. And with that, that's really gonna be it from me for today. So, you guys, tell me in the comments down below, what did you think of this episode, of my reactions, my theories? Keep it spoiler free. There are things you can spoil me. Don't. I'd rather you don't. As I said, I love the world building, I love the stories, so please don't. If there were any discrepancies compared to the source material, anything missing, anything changed, do let me know, please. Those things I do genuinely want to know. I'm gonna leave it at your discretion whether to tell me or not. Again, avoid spoilery things, but if it's contained within what was shown in the season, that's perfectly fine. Do let me know about it. If you want to talk spoilers, my Discord is here and also in the description. You can join it. There is a Shield Hero channel. You can talk spoilers there by using spoiler tags. So that's something you can do. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases. What is there left for me to release? I don't know, some shows probably, but mostly new shows. A new lineup is going to be starting soon with the mainstays of Symphogear G, GX now, and Review Starlight. We still have the OVAs and the movies of Review Starlight to see, so you can stay subscribed for those and for whatever else I bring to the table. You can support me on Patreon, link in the description. For $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Symphogear, like Review Starlight, like whatever other non-seasonal show I decide to pick up next season. And for just $1 you get access to a special channel on my Discord server, and you also get a place in the credits. You can also support me on Throne. That's also something new, and the link is in the description. And you can also support me without spending a single dime by just sharing my content, sharing my videos around, because the word of mouth really matters a lot for the growth of a channel. Like, comment, subscribe, Discord, Patreon. That's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one, whatever it might be. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned. You can help expand this list